Welcome back to another episode of the CG Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ryder Nordstrom.
I'm one of the other ones, Preston Vincent.
And I'm the last one, Dylan Cherry.
All right, welcome back to another episode. This is episode 4 of season 2, and we're coming back at you live with another guest. So this week's been a pretty hectic week. We are filming this a little later than we wanted to due to class schedules and filming our other things, but we finally got around to it. Yeah. So we are going to bring in our guest, Mr. Tyson Struber.
He's on a 3-star. Don't get too happy.
Sir,
welcome.
How are you doing today?
Let him get the headphones on, man.
Not bad. How are you doing today?
That's good. Good. Thank you for joining us today on the podcast.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right. So we're going to start it off, since our first topic anyways is going to be high school football. So let's talk how the season's gone first, and then what we have coming up. So last week, Wichita County, okay?
Washington County.
Sorry, Washington County. My bad on me.
Washington.
That was a great game on our half. Energy was high. Was making plays. Everybody was flying to the football, right? And then this week we have the Bennington Bulldogs, which beat Washington County. In overtime? Yeah, by a touchdown.
Yeah.
So by a touchdown, and it was a good game. But this week we're looking to come out and have another great one to come out hot, because coming up in the next week will be the rival Little River, another top-ranked team. Number 3. We've been moved to number 1, so that's another top-ranking matchup that we are really looking forward to. And then after that, we got to start looking for some more teams. I don't know who plays after that. I kind of been focused on that week mostly.
Yeah. Garrett's got the boot on his ankle, so he's probably going to be out that week, and then we don't know how long he'll be out.
Yeah, hopefully the boot warms up that or speeds up that old recovery quite fast. So now that we got kind of current football out of the way, we'll come back to that here in a minute. Let's talk your high school career so far. You being a senior, of course, you've been through 3 years of this so far. So walk us through your freshman year. A lot of hype coming up from 8th grade. You're playing first game, very tough team, Little River. What was your thoughts going into that game?
Oh, I didn't really know what to think. I don't think I've ever been that nervous in my life.
Right.
You know, there was a lot of hype. We weren't really the best team at that point, or people didn't think we were the best team at that point. And it was definitely a wake-up call.
Right.
I don't think I'll forget that game. I've never been that sore after a game beat down. My pride was dropped down a little bit. That was a good team, and finally realized what high school football was after that.
I mean, yeah, just the speed and. Okay, so we're back from Cherry not being able to contain himself, but no, like we've talked before, the just speed and physicality from junior high to high school is, anything more than you can ever expect. It's fast, it's hard, it's physical all the time. And I imagine that was a tough game to come in as a freshman.
You can't really understand it until you actually get into your first game or even practices. You can tell the difference.
Right.
And you kind of just have to take the beating.
Yeah, very true.
I know I didn't take as much of a beating in practice. I was on the varsity team.
Right.
I was like, your guys' class took a pretty good beating.
Freshman year, I had Nick Pearson trap. Oh, that was I just look over and he's coming and I'm like, I'm about to die.
A little PTSD coming on out. But anyways, so your freshman year, that was one of 2 losses that season. Nobody knew who you were. Nobody knew who we were. And then, boom, we go on 10 straight wins. And then don't get another loss till sub-state against Solomon, which we beat earlier in that year. That really showed people we were here to play ball. So what were your thoughts when you guys started kind of getting on a roll and being like, oh crap, we're here to play some football?
Oh, it was kind of wild. I remember we figured out that we were actually ranked.
Right.
I think we got ranked 9th mid-season, and we were all freaking out. You know, we hadn't been ranked in years.
Yeah.
A long time. I don't even know.
If not ever.
Time before that was. And yeah, it was great.
Right.
We kind of got on a roll. We realized how good we can be, and we started working really hard. That was just a fun year.
Yeah.
And up, kind of starting a dynasty almost.
Right, and we had no seniors at that point,
Yeah.
so we knew we were going to come back and start everybody. And that's when you really kind of started the dynasty, because next year coming up, we were, I think, better than we ever expected to be.
Oh,
Because I remember I didn't see the rankings, and Hops came into, we had like a team meeting, and he's like, I'm going to tell you guys this, but don't get like in your head. He's like, we're preseason ranked number 1. This is the first time I think it's ever happened in school history.
And that was just kind of an eye-opener to, we're going to make a run. I mean, the year before that, you had to build yourself to make a run, but this was one of those years we knew that we're here for a state championship.
Yeah, we had the exact same team back with another class coming in, your guys' class, and we just knew we got everybody back.
Yeah, it was.
Same team, everybody knows each other. We're just gonna go to work and get all the confidence in the world, and it all worked out.
And I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of tough as a freshman, because rolling in, the coaches were kind of like, all right, everybody knows the plays, everybody knows what's happening, so we're kind of sitting there, and they're not really explaining anything. I mean, we just hopped into it, boom.
Yeah.
We're kind of sitting there, and we just had to pick it up as we rolled on. But I think, in general, that made us better football players as it is, and going through that punishment of going up against that number 1 team in the state. That it hurt, but I think at the end of the day, it turned us into what we are today, and how we're still ranked number 1, because 3 years running, ranked number 1 at some point in the season. Like you said, started that dynasty.
Yeah, I still remember the state game. It was like 36-0 in what, the second or the second quarter.
Early second.
I'm thinking, this isn't good.
I was expecting to go home at half.
We started scoring. Hops said that speech at halftime, and
I'll admit, when we were down 36-0, I was
well,
wasn't exactly giving up. But
can't win them all,
I
fellas.
was on the edge.
And then we scored those 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, I had two touchdowns right in the half.
and then Hops gave the
coming to Jesus talk.
Yeah.
We can't
then,
cite on here.
Yeah. And then we decided right then and there that we were going to start rolling.
Yeah, it had been too long of a season. We had worked way too hard to just lay down and give up, especially in that game. So
I mean, that's every game, because we come in here, we worked so hard all summer, and even after that, every day after school is a grind for 2.5 hours. And, when you get to that point, you can't just say, oh, well, that's it. You can't put that much time and effort into something to give it up at that moment.
Yeah.
So towards the beginning or middle of sophomore year, I think I heard you had an injury. Was that a setback, or what was it?
Yeah, it was the homecoming game against Gospel. I ended up breaking my hand on a kickoff. I remember there's a fumble, dove on it. My hand was at the bottom. Hurt pretty bad, got up, kind of tried to shake it off, and realized couldn't really squeeze my fingers or anything.
And didn't you score another touchdown with the broken hand?
Yeah, I had another touchdown and a pick six after that. I remember I had to catch it with my body and one arm, because if I would have caught it with that one, I probably would have fell straight to the ground, because it hurt pretty bad.
Right.
And after that, I knew I was going to be out, got my x-ray. I actually didn't know it was broken at the time. Got my x-ray, walked into film that Monday morning, pulled Hoppus, and yeah, it was not a good deal.
So how long were you out for?
3-4 games.
Yeah.
You had surgery, didn't you, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I got 2 screws in my hand right here. I had a spiral fracture.
Oh, because when it gets to cold games, this man's hand decides to, it turns back into the claw.
Yeah, when it gets cold outside, tendons start to freeze up, so I got to make sure it's warm.
Yeah. I remember the game you broke it. We get done, we go into the locker room, we go to the homecoming dance. You're just sitting there, some ice on your hand, and I'm like, that'd be terrible.
I think it took me about 45 minutes to get my pads off and all that, and my gloves and everything, get my shoes off. And I was just not having it. I wanted to go home, but I knew they had a little cookie table at the homecoming dance. Walked in there with my bag of ice, grabbed some cookies, put them in my pocket, and just went home.
I do got to say, those cookies were pretty good.
They were pretty good. I don't know what it was about them.
And then, so fast forward, playoffs, okay? We're into the playoffs, still ranked number 1. Blowing teams out of the water. We knew we had a tough team, South Central coming up, sectional game. Very fast team, very good squad. We came in knowing that we needed you back for speed also. And when you clubbed it up, correct? Mm-hmm. Had a club on it. So it had a club on it, wrapped it up, played those games. What was the difficult part of having that club? Like, was it harder to catch the ball? Was it about the same, kind of catching it with your body? How was gripping it? Everything like that.
That first game I came back, the South Central game, I did have the full club. I only had 3 fingers loose, and I could barely move them because the padding's all, big and stuff. So I knew I was only playing defense.
Right.
I'd say the hardest part is not being able to actually practice that whole week.
Mm-hmm.
I just came back for that game. So all the practice, I remember coaches just had me running sprints the whole time.
Yeah.
Getting drinks, running more sprints, just to stay in shape. But I don't really know what the hardest part was.
Right.
Maybe just getting over the fact that it still hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But like playing football, you got to hit people.
Right.
And I kind of got over that pretty quick, and I just wanted to get back. So there wasn't too many challenges with that. But
So after South Central, we played Madison. Same deal. Had the club and everything. Landon Everett actually got hurt that game with his shoulder, so he was out for the last half of that game. Garrett stepped in, did a great job at quarterback. Another tough win that we came out with. We knew it right there. It was a big celebration. We were going to state. I mean, we're going to the show. Then at that, if I remember right, you just had a brace at that moment.
The Madison game, I just had the brace, so I could actually fully bend.
Right.
3 out of my 5 fingers and finally try and catch a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I wasn't as effective at it, but I could do it now. So.
And then state championship game, had a standout game. You brought us back. How many? What was your? Didn't you have 3?
It was 200 or almost 200.
No, I'm talking receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, 3 or something.
3 receiving touchdowns and probably 200 plus yards.
Yeah, almost maybe 200.
Yeah.
Yards.
Yeah, great game, great standout game.
That was actually the record for that game.
Right. So, do you still hold that, or did it get broken?
I'd still hold that. Yeah.
Cool deal. Then next year, we come back again, number 1 on top. Returned a great senior class. The year was pretty. It was a good year all the way up to the end. We went 10 straight wins. Got to sectionals, played Madison again. Was up 13, right? 13 points?
I think so.
Was up 13 points. Had a rough second half. What was that game like for you?
Oh, that was tough. The game was kind of going back and forth, even though we were up at one point. I could tell it was going to be a dogfight, and we kind of lost our composure, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
We hadn't been in that position at any point that year until then, and I think we kind of needed a little bit of adversity early on in the season or something.
And then I think that adversity has driven this year.
Yeah.
We are a whole different animal when it comes to energy, holding each other accountable, everything like that. That really drove us to we never want to feel that feeling again.
My freshman year, we lost in sub-state, and that was I remember the fireworks going off after losing that game. And going into that next year, we had that chip on our shoulder. We went through that adversity, so we were really motivated the year we won state. And I think because we won state going into the junior year, we didn't have any adversity. We had always been number 1 that whole year. Nobody was really giving us a challenge in the regular season. And finally hitting adversity after not having it all year kind of
I think
affected us. We kind of needed a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I felt like we got a little maybe too entitled as a team, thinking we're gonna walk through all this, and it came to get us. And I think this year that's been our number 1 goal, is noticing that we haven't proved anything yet, so we're back to that ground zero of having something to prove. We're no longer that team anymore. Yeah, we have your class of 3 strong players, but only one of you played in that state game. We're really fresh. We're fresh and new. On defense, we got 8 guys at 8 new positions this season. A lot of learning, a lot of everything like that's going down. But I'd like to say that season has driven us very far this season.
I think O'Connor's 0-1 thing from like when we started Waste. The first day I remember, he's like, till you guys show that you can be like state contenders and all that, you guys are 0-1. Like you haven't proved anything to anyone.
Last time we stepped on that field, we came out losers, so there we are. We're 0-1. I mean, we haven't proven anything yet. This season, we're so far 3-0. But again, the last time, I mean, we're still 0-1. I mean, we still haven't came out since the last time we played on that field. We got to be winners to be 1-0. But so that's really been a good drive to us.
Yeah.
So we already talked about this season, so we're going to move on to the next topic.
So talking about basketball, your 3 years of basketball, how was it like different from going from like dunking to Coach O?
Oh, it was a little bit of a change. Practices are a little more up tempo. We're always moving, and I kind of like the whole press thing, getting up in people's faces,
Right.
running around. And he kind of just lets us be athletes, really. He doesn't limit us to, you got to be here on this time.
Right.
He just tells us to go out, play ball, do our jobs, and just run around, be athletes. And I really like that. It really makes it enjoyable.
Exactly.
Just to have some freedom to make plays if you can make it.
And we talked about this with Coach O. Last season was huge. I mean, I as a wrestler, I don't play basketball. I look forward to coming in the games to see what you guys were going to bring to the table. We actually turned into contenders, and I mean, it was just fun. It was just a blast every game. That Gossel game, man, that was the funnest basketball game I've gone to in Canton-Galva history in a long time.
Just the competitive nature that Coach O brings.
Yeah, all the time. He just wants to win, man.
I love it. It'll be something small, like he'll get a wide open layup, he'll look over and he's just screaming once we get on a run, and it's amazing.
Right, the
It's
energy.
really fun to
So, you looking forward to this season? You think you guys got a good shot at everything? Or?
I do. I think we're gonna do pretty good after summer league stuff.
Oh yeah.
We look pretty solid after not really having practices exactly, just showing up after work,
Right.
playing some basketball. We look pretty solid.
Good.
So do you like with Duncan, there was always afternoon practices, and Coach O gave us a choice for morning or afternoon. Which one do you choose?
I kind of like the morning, honestly. I like being on that routine, getting up in the morning, kind of start your day off. You're awake when you're at school.
Right.
And I like going home right after school, too. It's kind of
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
It's kind of nice.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, but so with basketball, I know you're a 3-star football player. Has anyone really reached out to you for basketball?
No.
No, not a chance.
I'm not that much of a hooper, really. I mean, I'll
Just an athlete.
go out and play,
Right.
but I'm not really focused on that.
Yeah, I know like last year when you would dunk and stuff, Coach O would get so happy.
Oh yeah.
And it's just awesome to see because you make up a good play, you look over and Coach O is just all smiles.
He's
and I'm like,
grinning.
I know you haven't quite. Are you looking to slam the ball down a little bit this year?
That is the plan.
Because I mean,
It's always the plan.
You've been a little shaky. You've been a
Yeah,
little
I've been a
shaky. I
little
don't know if you're
timid
gonna come.
trying to do it, but
I say go out there and have some fun
might
with
just
it.
let loose.
I
Jump
was gonna say
over
let her
someone?
fly.
Yeah.
Let her fly.
Might be on cherry.
yeah.
Again.
That's what I,
Been there, done that.
That happened in
Yeah.
practice or what? You got
Just
something to share
about,
with us,
just
Cherry?
about.
This is kind of funny. Actually, I'm gonna tell a story. We're doing a little drill. I get on a fast break. Cherry's sprinting back on defense.
Oh no. Okay.
Cherry gets in help, so Cherry's underneath the goal. He sees me driving down in the lane. He goes, "Heck no!" Literally runs away and lets me get away.
That would have been funny if you just would have jammed one on him.
yeah.
I saw you you look like you were about to just jump up and dunk me. I'm like, no, not today.
No, ain't
I'm good.
ain't happening.
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
But
Kind of moved out of the way.
one thing I like about Coach O's offense is it's not like a bunch of plays you have to run to this spot, do that. It's just basically you have 4 spots and he wants you moving around all
Yeah,
the time.
be a ball player.
constantly.
Yeah, just run around, be a ball player, make some cuts.
Do
Yeah.
what you got to do to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way he coaches.
Yeah, because he understands that we know each other, we can work well with each other. So
Right.
Because I remember his first year coming in, he told us first practice, he's like, I don't really know. I know you guys ran a lot of zone last year. He's like, I'm not that type of guy. I run man.
Mhm.
And he said something like, he's like, I don't really know any of your guys' play styles yet. So he says, he's like, you give me 100% out there, you will play. But he's like, I don't care how good you are. If you don't give all that, then he's like, you'll be sent by me.
I'm excited to see how you guys roll this year.
Yeah, it'll
Get
be.
one rolling and going. All right, we got to kind of speed this up a little bit. We're at 20. I'm loving the conversation, but we're at 20 minutes and we're on our second topic.
Ooh.
So, Cherry, why don't you roll us with the third
So
one?
last year you won state in the 200 meter. Kind of, would you like to tell us about that a little bit?
Oh,
Crazy.
that was wild. Yeah, I was the prelim for that. I barely made it to finals, barely, by .2 seconds. I
Ooh.
beat somebody.
Man.
So I knew I was going to be in the very outside lane, lane 8, and I knew that after the 200-meter finals, I had the 4x4 right after. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm in last in the prelims. I got some fast kids in there. They had some pretty good times, like better than my PR in their prelim. So I'm just going to cruise through this, get what I can, and then we're going to go run the 4x4. So the race starts, and usually once you hit that 100-meter mark, everybody kind of gets even and stuff. But I remember I rounded that corner, and I couldn't see anybody to my left. I'm like,
Oh, no.
I'm like, what happened?
Oh, boy.
What's going
What
on?
happened to everybody? So then I don't know, something clicked, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take off. And I think I won by like .01.
Oh.
Is what I won by. It was like 22.82 is what I had, and I was like 22.83s after that. And that was wild. Looked up the scoreboard, my name's at first, and
Hey.
No.
Didn't
sound
expect
funny,
that to happen.
So I rode with Ryder and his parents to that game. This great story. And we're heading back after because we were there from the morning when Mimi threw.
First thing.
Yeah, first thing to probably like 2 or 3 o'clock. We're heading back. Me and Ryder are snoozing.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, Guy. Like you said, prelims. Like, I was like, I hate to be. I've been out here in this freaking sun all day. I'm going home. And we were all kind of exhausted, heat exhausted. And
Yeah.
me and Preston are slumped in the back of the car on the way home. And next thing you know, my mom wakes us up screaming. She's like, Tyson just won the 200. I was kind of waking. I'm like, won you say? And then she said that you won. And then, I don't know, it was crazy. We ran it back on the live stream. And, yeah, it was ridiculous out of nowhere.
that was wild.
And then you talk about your 4x4. 4x4, not so hot.
You know?
Not so hot.
Legs were a little roached after that too.
Right.
Didn't really do too hot in the 4x4, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Well, good.
We'll be back.
All right, so next topic I think is the one that everyone really wants to hear. So, as most know, you've been recruited by K-State to come play football. As I understand, you're committed.
I am verbally.
So, at what stage can you actually commit? Like, not just verbally, but on paper.
There's like a signing day that they'll bring in papers and stuff.
Right,
I don't really know exactly what it is, but it's like a national signing day. Like Braden Collins did it last year.
Right.
And
Are you gonna have to go there? They're gonna come to you.
I'll do it here.
Oh, sweet. So, who just comes? Just a rep comes, or
I think so, or it'll just be me and my parents or something.
Right.
I don't exactly know how that works, but
Right.
yeah, there'll be an official signing day. So
cool
that's-
deal. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of K-State, you were talking to me, and I think it was Ryder too, about like how you get like tickets to the games and they let you on the.
Well, yeah, they let us come to some home games and kind of let us get that experience, the atmosphere, and it's second to none.
Right.
So
It's crazy.
here you play 8-man. K-State plays 11. Do you think that's going to be a little bit of a holdback, or you think you'll do just fine?
It'll definitely be a learning curve, and I'm ready for it. I mean, I've watched 11-man football all my life.
Right.
You know, just over TV, watching some college games, NFL. But I know there's some stuff that I'll have to take some time to learn, and I know that I'm not gonna
So,
be right there as I get there.
you got recruited by your dream school. Obviously, you know most of us around here are either K-State or KU fans. So, what was going through your head when, boom, oh my God, I just got an offer from my dream school to come play football for them?
That was wild. It came out of nowhere.
Right.
Really, or I can't remember how it happened, but I just remember Hop is showing up to my door. Said, K-State, Kansas State just talked to one of their coaches and they want to offer you. And said that I needed to call their head coach. And I was like,
Was that just a heart drop?
yeah,
Just
I was
like,
I was
oh
like,
my
this is
goodness.
crazy. And I didn't really know what to do. I was like, right now I need to call
Like,
him?
yeah, like this moment?
Little antsy to.
Yeah, I was a little timid.
I remember I woke up one day, checked Twitter. I'm like, am I seeing this right? I was like, Tyson got an offer from K-State and KU.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I remember I did that same thing. I was like, oh,
same day.
my boy. Like, oh, whoa, hold up. But, so how was that talk? Was it kind of a surreal, like, I'm talking to the head coach right now.
Yeah,
Like,
it was wild. I'm like, this is really an opportunity that I've been dreaming of.
Right, right.
You know, getting to talk to him, and it's like I really have a chance to, play at my dream level of football, not only my dream school even. But yeah, it was a good talk. And I could definitely tell even from that point to now, after talking to him in person, even
Right.
visiting campus and all that place it's a good place.
It's so cool, and me being a K-State fan my whole life, I've gone to quite a few games, and like you said, it's second to none. I mean,
crazy.
the band, the student section, everyone's always just so excited to just be in a game, and this year they're looking really sharp.
They are pretty good.
And next year they'll be just as sharp. So it'll be cool to see you out there kind of having get to experience that as a football player too. I'm gonna have to give me some season tickets. I ain't gonna lie to you. But
Go up
so
couple times.
we can move that into our next topic. So go ahead, Preston, take it away.
So speaking about K-State and all that, so what are you gonna go to school for there?
I plan to be a business major, kind of business marketing type thing.
That's sweet. That'll be fun. So like, what do you want to do like as you get deeper into that stuff?
I think I'll figure that out as I go. But I kind of chose business because of the different branches that you can go off of.
Right,
There's
right.
so many different things you can do.
And that's also a job you're gonna find everywhere. Everyone's
Exactly.
always looking for that
Everybody
person.
needs people that know how to business that could go into like marketing.
College football, a lot of times, redshirt freshmen. So how would that affect your schooling? Would you keep going if you say played 5 or 6 years of college football, depending on how they would redshirt you or whatever? How would that affect your schooling? Would you just like start another like maybe easier what's it called? Like another degree?
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about that redshirt thing real quick. It means I can play still like a few games and keep my red shirt, but keep that year of eligibility.
Right.
So I'll still have 4 years after that. And when I get up there, they'll put me on a 3-year graduation plan. So once I hit that 3-year, I can, like you just said, get more of an education, like a master's,
Right.
or even another, like I don't know, like path of education. So
Do
Okay, that
you
makes
have
sense.
to?
you don't have to. I mean, they'll definitely recommend you to like do something like might not be like an actual like class, but like something smaller, like a leadership class or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to kind of keep
Just like
you
an
occupied.
easier little class and-
Yeah.
What he said.
Keep
So,
you enrolled.
Yeah.
So you just wanting the senior year to go by really fast, or trying to enjoy the last year?
No, I'm kind of enjoying it right now. I'm like my classes. It's been kind of fun with all my friends here. It's been a good year, and I'm not looking forward to, having my last games and all that. It's not gonna be fun.
Right.
You said you like your classes, so leading into the next topic, what special classes are you having to take here so you're eligible to go to K-State?
Oh, I'm having to take a few this semester and a few next semester to get all my credits and stuff done. It's kind of been a little hectic all scheduling it, but
Right. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. We had
Yeah,
a
thank
great
you.
conversation, great time. We might talk to you later and just bring you in to maybe if we just do a track episode or maybe a basketball episode with some players. Definitely look forward to maybe having you back on another time, or maybe even in the future next year, halfway through your college, and see how that's kind of going if we can't have you down. Thank you
come up
guys.
there.
Yeah, maybe we'll come out there, bring the equipment. Thank you guys for coming in. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, follow our Twitter accounts and stuff. We'll be posting on episodes coming out.
Give the thumbs up.
Like to see you on the next episode. See you in episode 5.